Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and the first week of Con Spoilers is coming to an end. Can you believe it hasn't even been a week since we learned Fetchlands were getting reprinted? It seems so long ago, like a truth that comforted us much like a blanket would. I'm happy today. Let's look at Con Spoilers. Suspension Field is 2 mana for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature with toughness 3 or greater until Suspension Field leaves the battlefield. So basically, we're looking at a journey to nowhere, but made so that it only hits big creatures. By that I mean it doesn't hit morphed creatures, and that's what's important. And don't get me wrong, in a format where a keyword requires 4 power creatures to be on the board, you can expect 3 toughness is going to be a regular occurrence, but when it isn't, you'll just be a sad panda with this in your hand. Amazing for limited, decent sideboard tech in standard, it's less reliable than Banishing Light and hits way less things, but it's still good at what it does. 2 mana removal like this, it's powerful. Also, if you really hate Courser of Kruphix, here you go. Icy Blast is X and 1 blue for an instant with Ferocious. Tap X target creatures. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap steps. Synergy with Battlefield Thaumaturge, dirty. 1 mana to tap all of the things. Also, this could be one of the biggest bombs for limited play so far. That's why it's rare. If it were anything less than that, it would be chaos. Tap effects are already good and limited, extremely good in fact. Printing one that is cheaper than any we've ever really seen is going to impact the limited format. This thing is seriously ridiculous. First pick territory in draft for sure. Here you go. Empty the Pits is double X and 4 black for an instant with Delve. Put X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped. Holy crap. Let's analyze this card. What's happening is that you pay 4 black at instant speed and you remove 2 cards in your graveyard from the game to create 1 2/2 zombie. For every 2 cards you remove, you get another zombie. The biggest obstacle here for a lot of people is that this card is 4 black mana. While that does seem like an issue, I think the Con's mana base is pretty flexible and this might not be all that bad. With that said, standard viability is dependent on a few things. First, how good is Delve going to be overall? Plus, can you make an entire deck around stuffing your graveyard with Delve fodder and actually have it be competitive? If you can, then this card is a broken version of Army of the Damned. If you can't, then it doesn't really matter because Grimgrin Commander players just wet themselves anyway. The bottom line is that even with Delve, this is an expensive card. The only thing keeping its standard viability somewhat kind of alive is that it's instant speed. That's pretty sick. Yes, they can be bio-blighted, but I shouldn't have to tell you that your opponents won't always have the perfect answer. Unless you're against blue-white control, then we always have the answer. Warname Aspirant is 2 mana for a 2/1 human warrior with raid. It enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if you attacked with a creature this turn. It also can't be blocked by creatures with power 1 or less. This card single-handedly counters Sylvan Caryatid, and that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is easily a replacement card for a red aggro deck. You should have enough 1-drops to enable raid most of the time, and even if you can't, you can count on the fact that Caryatids and most other mana dorks can't stop it. This also includes our fluffy little sheep friend, so keep that in mind. Having a potential 3/2 on turn 2 that can't be blocked by the best early game blockers, so good. Don't underestimate this card, it's kinda crazy. Standard playable post-rotation easily. Hardened Scales is 1 green mana for an enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature you control, that many +1 are placed on it instead. I'm going to ignore standard and the Outlast mechanic and how every single Ajani works with this and the heroic mechanic and talk about Commander. This is 1 green mana. This 1 green mana gets you a relevant enchantment in countless strategies. From Gav to Animar to Marath to Skullbriar and a ton more, this is now a staple in Commander for the rest of time. It's so cheap and does so much over time. Okay, standard time. Anafenza, Obzan Ascendancy, all the Ajanis, and most likely the Obzan Charm. These are all synergistic with the super cheap enchantment. I'm not even looking into most of Theros block where we see cards like Reap What Is Sown. I need to wait for the rest of the set, but it's a 1-mana enchantment with game-long relevance. I don't even know what to think, honestly. It's so cheap. Mantis Rider is 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 white for a 3/3 human monk with flying vigilance and haste. I'll just get this out of the way now. Lightning Angel is a beloved card. People have been playing it for years. Being 1 mana cheaper and losing 1 toughness is just fine with me. This does put it below the magical 4 toughness number, but come on, it has a bazillion abilities. And guys, it's a human monk riding on a giant praying mantis. In what world is this not the coolest thing on the planet? Obviously a limited bomb, just naturally. Beyond that, it would be awesome to see this in Standard, but I have no idea what deck it's going into. I have no idea how much more removal we're going to see. There are so many questions about this card's playability, but man, I played when Lightning Angel was first in Standard, and I want to relive that. Like, the nostalgia's real. Mind Swipe is X, 1 blue and 1 red for an instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Mind Swipe deals X damage to that spell's controller. Okay, you know how there are decks called Blue-Red Counter Burn? Yeah, they actually made a card that is Counter Burn. This thing's hysterical and definitely playable. Commander worthy. Possibly Standard worthy on sideboard, maybe. It's obviously a limited bomb. Getting a 2-for-1 is always nice, but stopping a spell and potentially dealing a ton of damage, way too good to pass up. Using this with a teamer build is especially effective, since green is going to provide you with a substantial amount of ramp. Do not let the haters tell you that this card is bad. The flavor is great, the usability is there. Try not to be spoiled. I actually really like this card, and you should too. Savage Knuckleblade is 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red for a 4/4 Ogre Warrior. You can pay 2 colorless and 1 green to give it +2/+2 until end of turn. You can also pay 2 colorless and 1 blue to return it to its owner's hand. You can also pay 1 red to give it haste until end of turn. Like, yeah, yes! I'm not even sure where to start. 3 mana 4/4, done. Ferocious Enabler, done. He clearly stole Riddick's blade, so props. Beyond those things, these abilities are all relevant. With Rattleclaw Mystic out the turn before, you can drop this guy and give him haste on turn 3. That is stupidly powerful. And he protects himself from damage and hard removal. This guy is the most primal morphling I've ever seen. I can't think of one thing I don't like about this design. It oozes flavor, playability, and just pure awesomeness. I want this as my pre-release rare. I need it. This guy is crazy. The teamer is so good. Today we were also shown the rest of the Wedge Triland cycle. Joining Mystic Monastery and Nomad Outpost, we have the Obzan Sandstep Citadel, the Sultai's Opulent Palace, and the Teamer's Frontier Bivouac. I must say, super impressed with the art on all of these. The cards just look good and they definitely represent their respective clans. Plus, there's a Dragon Skull on the Teamerland. They take shelter inside of dragons' skulls. Who are these people? I'm supposed to do an outro right now, but I just can't get past how much I love Savage Knuckleblade. Like, just look at him. Seriously, I don't even want to end this video. I just want to keep talking about him forever and ever and ever. Right, okay. What do you all think about these spoilers? We're seeing some crazy stuff. This past week has been surreal to say the least. From fetch lands to Mono Red Sarkhan to Sorin to a 4-black double X instant zombie creator. Tarkir is an outrageous place. Super pumped for this set. Let me know how you feel in the comments. I need some support. Remember to subscribe below for the latest and most reliable Khans of Tarkir spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.